Good morning. Welcome to the Real Estate Walk and Talk from beautiful Jacksonville. And we're going to talk today about investing in rental properties with your retirement accounts. So if you are somebody who has been thinking about this, maybe have heard something about this, but might not know exactly what to do, what you can do, or what you should not do, I think the story will help you. And if you have any of those questions, I make myself available every Thursday at 12:30 for a live Q&A, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. The details are in the link, or the link is in the description here. So hopefully I'll see you there Thursday at 12:30. So a guy named Dale is who we're going to talk about here. Dale is an investor and had all of his financial portfolio in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and for a long time he felt like that wasn't right. He felt that the returns were all over the place, but it wasn't consistent, and more than that, he just felt like he had too much in those asset classes. And that's how a lot of us feel, especially in our retirement accounts, because stocks, bonds, and mutual funds are pretty much the only thing you can do when you're with your current employer, and many people don't understand that there's another alternative out there. We've got Lee Bishop on the call here. Hey Lee, good to see you, buddy. Thank you for the support, and I'm glad you enjoyed the show yesterday with Kyle. That was awesome, man. And thank you for your comments and your questions. So we're talking today about investing in rental properties with retirement accounts. And so Dale felt that he needed a new alternative, and he wanted that asset class to be rental properties. He wanted to be able to invest his retirement accounts into rental properties. And so he worked with a custodian to set up what's called a solo 401k. And you don't need to know all the details there, but when you work with a custodian who understands and is very well versed in how to invest in rental properties, a solo 401k is one type of retirement account that allows you to do this with a special custodian. And so Dale was excited, and the number, he wanted to invest $235,000. He wanted to pull that out of the stock market, reallocate that to diversify, and that $235,000 was then moved over to that solo 401k. And then it was time for us to understand how to fill that $235,000 with the right amount of rental properties. Now, Dale came and originally was thinking somewhere around 3 properties. And would you know that JWB, he's obviously a JWB client, would you know that we told him we didn't think that was the right number? We actually told him 2 was the right number. And I wanted to walk you through why we would say that. See, in a retirement account, it is critical that you maintain the right amount of reserves in that account. In rental property overall, it's always critical that you maintain the right amount of reserves. But when you're investing with a retirement account, it's even more critical, because all of the money that comes in from that investment and all of the money that goes out has to go to that account, that retirement account. It cannot be supplemented with your personal income. It cannot be supplemented with your personal bank account. And if there's a large unexpected maintenance item or vacancy cost, that retirement account fund has to be able to support it. So you have to maintain adequate reserves, even more reserves than you might in a non-retirement account. And so in order for Dale to be able to purchase 3 properties, he would have needed to obtain financing for all 3. And he wouldn't have been able to have an adequate reserve number in that retirement account right off the bat. And with obtaining financing on all 3, his cash flow numbers would have been a lot lower. So he would have been redlining. He would have been cutting it too close, in my team's opinion. So we recommended 2 properties for him, and that's what he went ahead and did. And he bought one of those properties with cash, and then he bought the other property with non-recourse financing in his retirement account. And the one that he bought with cash, as you would imagine, is a cash flow monster. It generates over $1,000 of net income each month from that property. The other one that's financed is a lot less because he has a loan to pay on it, but he was able to get 2 properties that way with that $235,000. And right off the bat, he set up with adequate reserves in that retirement account to make sure he's there. If there's an unexpected cost, he's good to go. And the cool thing is that because he's invested in one cash and one with financing, that one cash property continues to add buffer and buffer and buffer to that account over the months, right? An additional $1,000 roughly every single month is growing that account, which further increases his security. And now Dale is diversified, and he did this before. The cool thing is that Dale moved his money out of the stocks, bonds, mutual funds. He moved it out before coronavirus, which is really cool for Dale. And now he owns 2 properties. He lives in Los Angeles, California, and I'm just really happy for him. So hopefully you all can learn from this too. If this is something that's been on your mind, you're thinking about how to pull money out of your out of the stock market, your retirement accounts are a great place to be able to do this, because many of you are over-invested in stocks, bonds, mutual funds. And there's an alternative out there, a different asset class that you can invest in. And it's relatively painless to do. So if you have any questions about this, I'll be chatting more about this on our weekly Q&A tomorrow at 12:30. That's Thursday at 12:30. You can go to jwbqanda.com. That's spelled out, jwbqanda.com. And you can register there. And we'll also be talking about our interview with Kyle Brady yesterday. What an awesome, dynamic interview. Tons of stories. The story about Joe Paterno and Franco Harris and the Immaculate Reception was near and dear to my heart as a Steeler fan. And it was one of our most enjoyable talks. So I'm sure we'll be answering additional questions about private lending, additional questions about rental property investing. And we'll be there on Thursday. So I appreciate all of you walking with me here. We've got a couple of folks live with me. We've got Lee. And Lee said, Greg, great advice. I did exactly that, as you know, in December. And Lee, you're right. You did exactly this. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Wonderful thing to be able to invest in a different asset class. And man, I know you feel good about doing it at the time that you did it too, Lee. So congratulations, buddy. And if any of you have questions, I'm here to help. On Thursday at 12:30, I'll be live. So I'll catch you then. Take care.